There's some projections of a further 10% upside when it comes to Japanese equities. When it comes to valuations at the moment, there does still seem to be room to run. Are you convinced by the broader kind of almost virtuous cycle narrative that we're seeing drive a big part of this early bull market?
Yeah. We remain positive on the Japanese equities. Yes, TOPIX hitting 33 years high. But when we look at valuations, for example, the forward PE, Japan market is still trading 13 times, 14 times versus, for example, MSCI World 16 times, or even the US market is 18 times. So, in terms of valuations, the Japan market still very attractive. So we still see a lot of upside, and I think most important of all is for the catalyst right now. The important catalyst is the corporate governance reform, and obviously a lot of investors looking to see a lot of unlocking value of a lot of the companies, especially we know that the companies that is below 1 times books, they need to make disclosure of how they are going to improve their profitability. I think this is actually a very important step to move forward. And also for the shareholder returns, we've been seeing a lot of improvement. For example, more announcement of buybacks, and also the improving payout ratio. We also think that a lot of foreign investors, they want to play the China reopening story, but they a bit hesitate to invest directly in Chinese stocks because of the geopolitical tensions. But for the Japanese stocks, they actually could be benefits from the China reopening stories, and for now, valuations still very attractive. So, a lot of investors, they may want to play China reopening stories through, for example, European luxury, but of course, for some of the luxury stocks, they're already hitting record high. But for Japanese stocks, especially a lot of those industrial stocks, they are actually good play to play the China story.
That's a really interesting point, because we have been talking about the China reopening trade, but at the same time, investors not necessarily wanting to touch China directly. Other than Japan, are there any other markets that are seeing a little bit of upside from this?
Yeah, I think especially it's the industrials. We're talking a lot about all the companies they want to upgrade automation. So, for example, those automotive systems companies, and also auto parts components companies, they are actually very interesting place to play the Japanese place to pay China. Yeah.
Do you like emerging markets? That's another way that we're thinking they will see some upside from China doing well.
The emerging markets, yeah, we're actually still positive on the emerging markets, given valuations also are very reasonable, and also for emerging markets, they could benefit from the China reopening, as well as we are still seeing the dollar weakening trend, and that tends to be a positive factors to the emerging markets overall.